high school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
It's a Friday night showdown from Rockville Center as the Massapequa Chiefs take on the Southside Cyclones on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's game is sponsored by Orlin and Cohen Orthopedic Group. And we welcome you into the broadcast booth. He's John Kasalakis. I'm John Perez. And John, this is a banner year for the Southside Cyclones. 12 wins coming into today. A victory today would be the most wins in program history for the regular season. This has been a long time coming for the Cyclones.
It's been 20 years in the making with a very senior-heavy group, 26 of them, I believe. Multi-sport athletes up and down the field for Southside. They're looking to do something that's only been done once in the school history, and they are on their way right now.
Yeah, they're certainly on the path there. The team that's in their way, though, is the Massapequa Chiefs. They're 8-6 on the season, a very young team. They've got a lot of talent. And with that said, a couple of key impact players as well, as they're led by the defense and a slower offense, but guys that can fill it up as well. It's Jack Argiulo and Nick Hink.
And Jack Argiulo is a senior leader on the attack right now with a young group with a freshman and a sophomore starting around him. And Nick Hink is a proven veteran on the defensive end, Nazareth commit. He's got multiple seniors he's going against on the south side today, so he's going to have his hands full, but he's up to the task.
Massapequa coming off a 5-4 loss at Cold Spring Harbor. They'll take on Manhasset after this one as their schedule really ramps up in the Power Conference. So let's meet the starting lineup for Mike Draper's crew. Draper in his third season as the head honcho for the Chiefs. It's Nolan Wieserek along with Rocco Spallina, Tyler Burns, Joey Diesso, Jack Gargiulo, Joe Fazio, Nick Hink, Ryan Wieserek, as well as Will Craig, Michael Wiegand, and Michael Gennady. And if there's anyone that's been stone cold in the net, it's the keeper, Gennady.
And he's going to be up to the task tonight. You know, with the face-off game with Michael Malconian, he's going to have to really step up today. You know, he's saving the ball at 61%. He's got to be great in the clear and be the steady rock on the defensive end.
15 saves in the loss to Cold Spring Harbor Wednesday, but he is as tough as nails. Well, another team that, of course, has been a thorn in the side of everybody in the Power League, of course, is the Southside Cyclones, and they've got one of the best attackmen out there as well with Michael Aiello and Jack Lozito, who's a very good D-midi for the Cyclones.
And the Skidmore-bound seniors, 57 points on the season. He has just been everywhere for Southside, doing it in both as goals and assists. And Lozito's an old-school two-way midi, plays more on the defensive side as a short-stick D-midi, but has a way to make his way up and down the field on the offensive side as well.
A ton of seniors on the roster, as well as their starting lineup, as Steve DiPietro in his 16th season. We'll roll out Liam Livingston along with Griffin Mills, Aiello, Owen West, Cole DiPietro, Cullen Lynch, Braden Gamberg, who has been a godsend defensively, Chris Diaz, Michael Grossman, Mike Melkonian, who is virtually automatic from the faceoff, and Mike Muscarella. Many people around the island saying that Muscarella is the best goalie on Long Island.
He is definitely making his case for an All-American season. He's been absolutely lights out in the Power Conference. The Middlebury-bound senior, saving the ball, I think, around 72% for the season. He's been great.
So Mike Muscarella, fantastic goalie, and Massapequa is going to have their work cut out for them today. As with that said, if Massapequa is going to pull off the upset, John, how do they get it done?
Massapequa's got to communicate defensively. They got to find the open man and slow down the game. You don't want to get into a running shoot with the face-off disparity. Southside, they got to win the ground ball game, take good shots, and be flexible on defense.
It's Massapequa, it's Southside, it's Friday night in Rockville Center, and it's all coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Dante does it
Terrific
again!
Defensive play. Dante Zadaro.
Illico ties it up by
Yeso steps up and score.
The jump shot for Nell.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Dante does it
Terrific
again!
Defensive play. Dante Zadaro.
Illico ties it up by
Yeso steps up and score.
The jump shot for Nell.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
We welcome you back to Southside High School. It's the Southside Cyclones welcoming the Massapequa Chiefs, and we'd like to thank our sponsor today, Center Station, with lifelong employees and Southside alums Griffin Condon, Dan Mayward, and Tanner Robinson. They're taking over R.J. Daniels and rebranding it as Center Station, which is opening soon. And be sure to check out online for the open dates and reserve a table because it's a hot ticket here in town. Massapequa and Southside, they've been pretty close matchups over the last couple of years, John Kasalakis, and we know how much is on the line for Southside. Even though they are in first place right now in the Power League, still want to take care of business, and it could be anybody's game when these two get together.
And Massapequa's taken 2 out of the last 3, so Southside's looking to try, close that gap on them tonight.
And there you see Southside's last victory, 2022, an 8-7 victory over the Massapequa Chiefs. Southside wearing the home whites today and the maize and blue for Massapequa as they make the trek over to Rockville Center. And this is a team that won 7 games a year ago, a younger team last year, but they're really starting to round into form, and they've just got a ton of talent, and perhaps this is a little microcosm of what Massapequa wants to be in 3 years, a dominant Southside team, and they've got the young talent there today. And speaking of talent, let's go to our face-off matchup as they get ready as well. Mike Melkonian and Michael Wiegand. You could say Melkonian at 75%. He's basically automatic.
He's been fantastic, and he's put his time in. He's been at this face-off X for Southside for the past 3 seasons. He's battled some great guys in the past few years, and he's really taken this senior season taking it over.
Meanwhile, Wiegand thrown into the fire, and he shares some face-off responsibilities, gets normally the lion's share of it at 55%, and he'll have his hands full against Melkonian. But Massapequa, a very good defensive team, and could defend if they don't win the face-offs either, so it's not exactly set in stone that they're conceding a goal, and that's something that they worked on from last year. As we get ready to go, the Cyclones and Chiefs here on a Friday night on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And right off the jump, Mike Melkonian picks it up. 142 ground balls on the season as Mike Muscarella, the senior, with 8 saves in the victory over Manhasset. It was a good victory for Southside, and they've just knocked off the Giants this year. Garden City, Manhasset, Syosset, Port Washington. There's been no team but Wantagh that Southside can beat. As a shot trickles in, off the roll, automatically Cullen Lynch lights the lamp. His 26th goal of the season, and Southside strikes first.
Southside, unassisted goal by number 17, Cullen Lynch.
Yeah, Cullen had a great opportunity, got a nice wing dodge. No slide was a little bit late, got underneath his man, and bound, a little twister, nice bounce.
He was a crafty midfielder last year and has really grown up this year. And only 8 goals last year. He's tripled that this year as it plops high in the air. And Melkonian, difficulty picking it up. Braden Gamberg right behind him, and there is Melkonian out of the fray.
And Massapequa on the aggressive ride right here comes up with the turnover.
That's Tyler Burns. Keep an eye on him. Burns, fantastic player in his own right, leads the team with 15 assists and 28 points. He and Rocco Spallina tying for the team high.
And as we mentioned in the early part, it is a young group out there, a senior, a freshman, and a sophomore. So they've got to handle this outside pressure here and take advantage of their opportunities. You lose the face-off, you make a great play in the ride, and now the offense is going to work.
Burns is only a sophomore, had an assist in the 5-4 loss to Cold Spring Harbor Wednesday afternoon. As Massapequa has dropped 2 of their last 3, falling to Farmingdale last week and then winning in overtime against Seaford. But now starts out their offense, and we know how good offensively Southside can be. Maybe Massapequa, part of their keys too is to just be patient and with no shot clock, find the perfect shot.
Right, they don't have to take the first one, they have to take the best one when you're talking about shots.
Joey Diesso, a baker's dozen worth of goals this season. In fact, he's got 7 goals over his last 3 games. Jack Argiulo, do-si-do with Braden Gamberg. And over to Nolan Wieserek. Of course, 2 Wieserek brothers on the roster. Nolan, the younger one, as ball trickles out of play and a turnover early on. And Ryan Wieserek, a fantastic defender for the Chiefs.
The UMass-bound senior is as tough as they come. He's an all Long Island linebacker. I think he was the Nassau County Linebacker of the Year on the Long Island Championship football team. So a dual-sport athlete heading to UMass Amherst to play for Coach Greg Cannella.
Shot shoved away by Mike Giannotti, and Yeah, you know, both of these teams, a lot of multiple sport athletes, football and lacrosse. Southside winning their first county title in almost 15 years, or a little more than 15 years. Massapequa running roughshod through Long Island as well. And, you know, what does that do for a team going into the lacrosse season in terms of changing their mentality as they get ready? It's a different sport, but you're coming off a title run.
But I think it builds confidence for a team and a group, and you've bonded together, and football is so tough, and you need everybody to pitch in at the same time to accomplish a team goal. So there's that camaraderie, and it's also, you know, it builds confidence. Football, winning in football has proven to be, it translates to winning in lacrosse as well.
Up top, here's Owen West, steps into one, and a save by Gennady, and he's able to clamp it down. Owen West, of course, taking his talents to the next level, over to Bryant in the Big East. As Massapequa tries to clear, but there's Braden Gamberg. Liam Livingston, 23 points on the season, shovels up ahead. West, the extra pass, and the beautiful fake. And the finish. Cullen Lynch's second of the quarter. And Southside leads it 2-0 early on.
And credit to Southside for their aggressive ride. You know, they make failed clears lead to goals, and Southside got themselves in a great transition and got an open man rush right there. Well done.
Timeout taken by Massapequa with 3 minutes to play. 3 minutes into the first quarter and 3 minutes gone by, and Cullen Lynch already with 2 goals to start it off. Owen West with the pretty feed. That's something that he could do really well as well. And, well, while the season is coming to an end, the action is heating up on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Varsity Media, your home for high school lacrosse, and our action continues tomorrow as Liam Kershus and Shoreham-Wading River take on Nick Uzakewicz. At Hauppauge next week, some top-tier girls lacrosse matchups featuring Cold Spring Harbor, Massapequa, Manhasset, and St. Anthony's. Speaking of the Friars, it's the cream of the crop. Chaminade St. Anthony's at Sidonley Field. Friars looking to take home the CHSAA crown with a win over the Flyers, and that's always a fun one. Chaminade St. Anthony's, probably the best lacrosse rivalry in the nation.
It's a good one. Folks over in Manhasset Garden City might argue with you, but it's definitely a good one.
Yeah, no, and that was a great game, of course. Again, back-to-back Woodstick Classics, really good. And, yeah, if you want to watch it all, subscribe on youtube.com/Varsity Media. You're right. That's always the interesting thing when it comes to public school and the private schools, and at least with lacrosse, you're getting good talent everywhere, whereas opposed to some other sports, it's really coming out of the private schools, or depending on other sports, predominantly public school. Well, this guy's got a lot of talent as well on his roster. Steve DiPietro, 16th season, 13 wins a year ago. That was a cumulative wins. The program record for DiPietro's tenure has been 16 wins on the season. A win today would make them 13-1. Best start under the DiPietro administration. As here's Owen West. Up top, and now it's Cullen Lynch. Adam LaMandola, Nick Hink the long poles, as well as Ryan Wieserek. This is what we saw in the victory over Manhasset the other night for Southside, winning over at Darcy Field. They really slowed it down, took the right shots, and took home a 7-5 victory over the Indians, their first win over Manhasset since 2014. Michael Aiello swimming. Drops off, low shot, denied. Gennady. He pushed it away, and the hard shot from DiPietro.
And that Massapequa, they're off and running here, and a nice successful clear.
Michael Wiegand, the drop off in front, goes over everyone and out of play. Massapequa speeding it up, unable to convert. And now here come the Cyclones. Now on the near side, here's Cullen Lynch. Lynch last year getting a good amount of playing time on the varsity level. It was between giving him full experience over at the JV as opposed to the varsity, as there's Cole DePietro.
He's drawing a short stick here, so he's going to go to work.
Petro feet in
what a
front,
save.
Gennady. Denied. How about the
off-
instincts of Gennady?
He's off to a great start.
Gennady, 159 saves coming into today, a 62% save percentage, and a flag comes out. And after you get a big save like that for Massapequa, the last thing you want to do is draw a flag, especially trailing 2-0 early on. Lynch accelerates, bouncing shot over everyone. Livingston, the last one there. And now the penalty upcoming.
1 minute slash here.
Yeah, so that looks like it'll be Adam LaMandola coming off. What do you see here, John?
There's an old check right across the back of the head, and it's going to draw a flag every single time, especially with the ref standing about 7 yards away.
Adam LaMandola, the senior. That's outside. 1 minute EMO. And here's Michael Aiello up top. Slung up top, West makes the one-handed catch. West steps into it and lasers it wide to the left. 34 seconds to go on the penalty. Liam Livingston, the transfer from Chaminade. Former Flyer over to the future Bulldog, who whisked it wide to the right. And Aiello will restart it. Up top, here's DePietro. Now over to Aiello. Talk about understanding your assignment this year for Aiello of being the guy that's going to generate a lot of your offense. And he was someone last year that only had 7 goals on the season. He's quadrupled that, and there goes the lead again. Thanks to Owen West, who finds the back of the cage, his second point of the quarter, 3-0 Southside on West's first goal of the game.
A beautiful cross-field skip pass to West. Got his hands free, time and space, able to locate see the net, puts it right underneath the crossbar.
Give Aiello the assist. As West, 27 goals on the season. Aiello, his team leading 24th helper. And couldn't have driven up a better start for Southside at home so far, John.
They have. They're firing away on all cylinders right now, and Melconian wins another draw.
Third face-off win for Melconian. Lozito, ball comes ajar, cross midfield.
The flag is down for illegal procedure.
And so this is good opportunity for Massapequa to find the back of the net, or at least they'll have an EMO at the next dead ball. As Jack Gargiulo.
And another flag down. Southside is offsides here.
And so now the whistle comes in.
2 flags down should be an automatic dead ball.
Well, if you're Massapequa, have you put your coaching hat on. You're down 3 goals. You're trying to find the back of the net. Who are you drawing a play up for? Who do you want to see get involved?
You got to go to your upperclassmen. You got to, and Wiesrak is the guy. I'm sorry, Gargiulo is the guy. The ball's got to get in his stick at some point, whether he's the finisher or the trigger man finding somebody open. But they're going to be 2 men up here, so they should get a good look here.
And DePietro saying should have been given a warning or something there.
So the rule is you got to give 5 yards when off a quick restart, but sometimes when the guy's right next to him, it's a little tough to decide. But if the defender's within 5 yards, you're supposed to concede and let him go. And when he challenged him, it draws the flag immediately.
Yeah, so Leon Livingston will serve it. Check that. They put Michael Aiello on the scoreboard as well as Owen West. So
Yeah, I think Aiello went offsides. I think they misunderstood what the call was against them. I think they thought they were offsides, not the procedure.
And so 2-man advantage for Massapequa, trailing by 3. Golden opportunity to get on the board. Let's get in front, DSO, bingo.
From Spalina.
You gotta love the eyes from the freshman Spalina, and DSO does the rest, and Massapequa was on the board.
That's a big goal for those guys, for this young group right now to get them going.
Goal by number 1, Gerald DSO, assisted by number 16, Rocco Spalina.
Yeah, good job in front, and DSO able to hammer it home. For DSO now, that's his 14th goal of the season. Spalina, his first assist, now with 14 helpers on the season. And back the other way. Here comes Southside. They're flying out of the gate. That goes to Owen West, who finds the back of the cage right off the answer back. His second of the game, 4-1 Southside.
Assisted by number 22, Michael Cohen.
And just an old school fast break. He takes the face off right out the front door, and they move West down to attack. And he took a couple shots early, just had to set his sights, and the last 2, he's found a spot.
Seen over the last few years how many Long Islanders are playing over at Bryant, and West is going to be the next addition as well, coming up and going from Long Island to Rhode Island. And Bryant's getting a special player, and they're getting someone that can dodge in Owen West. Crossfield pass, loose ball. Cullen Lynch close to Cyclone there. And stays with Southside.
West is that typical, prototypical, modern day midfielder. He's just a big kid, strong, powerful shot. They seem to do well up there.
Cole DePietro working against Wiegand. And pulls it back out. DePietro, the drive, and Gennady is there again.
And this is important for Massapequa to get a successful clear here.
Taken away, DePietro. Almost caused the turnover, but Massapequa stays with it. Now it's Tyler Burns working on the long pole, and Mike Grossman. Tyler Burns in and out of the starting lineup last year, but he's been a staple in the starting lineup for Mike Draper this year, and he hasn't looked back. 28 points coming into the contest today. And his good balancing act as well, 13 goals, 15 assists.
And he's another one, you talk about this prototypical size. I think he might be about 6'4". Big left-hander.
I think wherever you're watching this game at home, the broadcast feed doesn't do the justice of how big these players are and how fleet of foot and how agile they are. Massapequa passes the airport test. Nolan Wiezerek, the freshman. Ball comes loose.
A great double by Mullen there. Turned his back on him, and he jumped up from the backside.
Mike Grossman. And a timeout taken by Southside with 2:14 to play in the opening quarter. And we'll take a break with them as well. 4-1 Cyclones on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Welcome you back to Southside High School. Alongside John Kasalakis, I'm John Perez. Southside with a 4-1 lead, and of course, Southside with a very aggressive start. And you knew that that's what they would want to establish here in their final regular season home game in the Power Conference. They'll play Long Beach next week as well. But, you know, an opportunity to win the first ever Power League. And they've come out and they've passed with flying colors.
Right, it's just the one loss to Wanto this year, but they've been the team the talk of Nassau County so far in the Power Conference.
And what have you seen out of them in this first quarter that has really impressed you?
What I've seen so far from these guys is that they're in attack mode right as soon as they get over the midfield line, and that their ride has been exceptional. I think they've caused 3 failed clears. It just creates momentum. It gets everybody involved. The bench gets excited. The team gets excited, and momentum starts going your way. Colin
Lynch and Owen West, the 2 goal scorers for Southside so far. West leading the way with 2 and 1. As Cole DePietro navigates up top. Final 80 seconds to go, opening quarter. Russell DeFrancisca is on the field for Southside, 25 in white, as DePietro goes that way to DeFrancisca. DeFrancisco, a lot of work in the offseason to be in good playing shape. He's gotten stronger, more mature, and Steve DePietro says, I've got no problem running him out there for long periods of time, and he's getting a good spell at the end of the first quarter.
And to our point earlier was we stated another senior out there.
It's a team that's just been littered with seniors. And this class going down as one of the best classes in Southside High School history. Including this guy, DePietro. 19 goals, 13 assists on the season. As he tries to work around Adam LaMendola. Lefty shot, high over the crossbar, 15 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Here's Michael Aiello. Aiello, quick shot, and Gennady clamps it down. And then heaves it down the field with 7 seconds to play, the home run pass. Burns Muscarella. Muscarella loses it with 1 second, and that does it. Southside is rolling, led by Owen West, the future Bryant Bulldog, with a couple of goals and an assist. And, of course, this electric shot off the feed from Mike Melkonian. Textbook. 4-1 Cyclones as we go to the second quarter on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Second quarter about to begin. Southside with a 4-1 lead over Massapequa, and we'll take this time to thank our sponsor, Center Station, for lifelong employees and Southside alums. Griffin Condon, Dan Maywald, Tanner Robinson, and Mike O'Brien are taking over RJ Daniels and rebranding it as Center Station, opening soon. And be sure to check online and reserve a table today. It's a hot ticket. You don't want to miss out. Mike Melkonian goes back to the face-off, and a new face-off man in there as well for Massapequa. It's Colby Roberts, the freshman. And talk about being thrown into the fire. You go against one of the Bulldogs in Melkonian. And a whistle and the violation. And how about that for the freshman? And Melkonian flinches, and here comes Massapequa as Joe Fazio will start it off. Fazio, great body control, someone who likes to invert. 16 points on the season, 13 goals. As Massapequa getting its lone goal by Joey Diesso on the pretty feed by Rocco Spallina. Trying to generate some offense. It's a Massapequa team now that only scored 5 goals in their last 5 quarters. Fazio. As Jack Lozito picks him up. Lozito, one of those highlight players that we mentioned in the Open, can be a swingman, play both sides of the field, but his specialty is defensively. And talk about a defensive presence. Pat Mullen for Southside wearing number 11, getting the assignment on Jack Argiulo, the leading goal scorer for the Chiefs. Here's Jack Argiulo, stopping on a dime.
And they are going quick at him.
Spallina to Diesso. Up top, and here's Nolan Wiezerek. Brady Gamberg chomping at the bit. Pump fake, Argiulo. Knifing inside. And Mullen's not letting him go anywhere.
Southside's doing a great job in their one-on-one matchups here.
Rocco Spallina flips it up top. Goes off the stick of Diesso, but he stays with it. Here's Diesso. The drive, trying to work around Mike Benfante. Loose ball, and off the long pole, it's Colin Diaz as he gallops up the field. Diaz to Gamberg, took his eye off the ball. And Nick Hink scoops it up. John, how about the defense on both sides of the field?
Yeah, these guys are sliding hard and aggressive. Great ground ball play by both defensive sides. You know, for Massapequa here, I think on this possession, you might want to try to set a pick with one of your short sticks on your long pole, so the long pole's not whacking away, just strictly trying to win a one-on-one matchup and try to create a mismatch or an invert.
Now Diesso will call everyone off. Someone's got a good first step, quick release. We saw that on display earlier on the catch and shoot from Spallina. Now 8 points over his last 4 games with the early goal. Matched up with Lozito and rifles it over to Fazio. Fires, Fazio wide to the right.
But in that case, he was able to win his one-on-one matchup and get topside and create a little bit of a slide, finding an open shooter.
Spallina the workhorse, of course, Brian Spallina's son. Of course, the Spallina's the first family of Lacrosse on Long Island.
They are workers.
It's Joe Fazio.
But now they're starting to attack the short sticks of Southside.
City gets it, Burns cleanly. Lozito picks up the loose change and quickly fires up ahead. Here's Pat Mullen. Picking up the outlet is West. Shot from the side of the net. And that was Liam Livingston and Gennady there again.
And a nice clear.
We haven't seen Massapequa in transition as Southside gets back.
Burns has a favorable matchup here with the short stick, and now they just switched off.
Up top, here's Diesso. Feeds it near side, Tyler Burns. This was a Massapequa team that was rolling before losing to Farmingdale last week. Wins over Mount Sinai, Wantagh, and Hauppauge. So those rivalry games that you could throw all the stats out the window, and Farmingdale came to play. And how about the job of Caden Lennon and Brendan O'Keefe, two of the top players on Long Island as well.
They are an excellent duo, but that's the beauty of the Power Conference as well, right? You have Wantagh comes in and beats Southside. Massapequa takes down Wantagh. It's been great.
Wantagh's been a fun team this year, including the Martinis.
The Martinis are they are lighting up the scoreboard this year.
I've always been told if you have too many martinis, it's not good for you. Well, I guess going against too many martinis makes you feel woozy too. Here's Ricky Geyer, 7 points on the season. More of a role player last year, and now getting more extended minutes for Mike Draper. As Luke Gargiulo. Seeing Draper shuffle the lineup as his subs have been getting more play in the second quarter. Just anything he can to try and cultivate some offense.
Yeah, an unforced turnover right there.
Owen Green picks it up, and now here comes Southside. Lynch gets a running start, takes a tumble, flag is out. That one's pretty obvious as it'll go against Jack Gargiulo. And so now the penalty is going to go against Gargiulo, and two teams exchanging, won't be exchanging Christmas cards, but let's take another look. Cohen Lynch goes down. That's the universal sign of I didn't do it, right?
I mean, the ref is right on top of the play right there. He's in a great position.
And so the 1 minute penalty against Jack Gargiulo. Now what Massapequa wants. As Draper's getting an explanation.
Southside's going to be 2 men up here.
And you're right, Ryan Wiezerek also picking up a penalty. And so with the Cyclones leading, West rips a shot, and Gennadi's there. What do you think about the early shot by West there?
You know, I think he's trying to catch him sleeping. I think you want to take a little more time there. You can just overload a side and really get a layup.
In front. And there's a long pole again, Nick Hink. Massapequa was just going to try and slow it down and kill the penalties. And so a whistle, and looks like a timeout was taken by Massapequa with 5:16 remaining in the second quarter. Well, both of these teams, of course, with high aspirations to go far, not just counties, but the Long Island Championship and New York State. But it all starts with the Nassau County playoffs, and Varsity Media is your home for the 2024 Section 8 Lacrosse playoffs. And you can watch all those games on the Varsity Media Pass by clicking and going to varsitymediapass.com to place your order today. Massapequa, of course, looking for their last county championship, their first county championship since 2019 for Southside, and a lone county championship in 2004.
And this is the team that Southside's been talking about for quite some time with the senior leadership, and these guys have been at it since they were in second grade. So they've had a lot of success. 26 seniors on the team. They're looking to do something special here that hasn't been done since 2004.
And what they've been doing special this year in the Power Conference. Take a look right there, John. Southside with the victory today, and a tiebreaker over Garden City. They would win the Power Conference. Of course, it doesn't mean much when it comes into the county standings, but either way, a good ledger to have on your mantle.
Listen, it's your body of work, and you are what your record says you are, and they've proven it so far.
See Garden City in there, Wantagh, all these teams beating up on each other. Of course, and Massapequa hanging tough too in fifth place, 8-5 overall though. It's been a good resume for the Chiefs this year, knocking off Wantagh, as well as a win over Syosset. And losing a close one to Port Washington. And 5:16 remaining in the second quarter. What do you think Mike Draper was telling his team in the timeout?
Right now, I think they want to try to figure out how they got to kill this next 29 seconds of this two-man down. So they're going to give it to their speedster, DSEO, and he's going to draw a double pole here. So he's going to just put that athleticism to work. And
lost the stick. Long pole. Diaz comes out and fires up ahead.
with Diaz and Mullen right there, that's a tough matchup.
West, the fake. Drives and scores. Top left corner. Owen West has the hat trick. 5-1 Southside.
Maybe Massapequa went off sides there, it looks like.
Southside, unassisted goal over number 4, Owen West.
Oh,
Well, let's take another look. And West just getting the separation there. Looks like the official was talking to the scorer's table. Did you pick up anything there, John?
it looks like it might be a bench penalty, I think. Well, they got DSO in the box serving, and he looked like he locked in, so full time served.
And so the goal counts as West picks up his third of the contest. And West now with 29 points on the season. And there's DSO in the sin bin.
And another man up face-off for Southside here.
Well, Melkonian with the violation last time, and hard to believe he makes back-to-back mistakes, but anything could happen.
I'd look for him to pull it straight back. Right to West. An unguarded West.
Owen West goes up top. And now spun behind the cage is Liam Livingston. Rifling shot, a goal. Cullen Lynch. He gets his third goal of the game. Back-to-back hat tricks. First West, now Lynch. 6-1 Southside.
17, Cohen Lynch, assisted by number 4, Owen West.
And West just draws a man. Lynch gets his hands free, time and space, finds the far side corner, low to high. And it's also another man up face-off here for Southside because this penalty is locked in.
And 38 seconds left on the penalty. And now we see the longer pole and Wiezerek to take the face-off against Melkonian. There's Melkonian with the rip, but Wiezerek picks it up. Good job by Ryan Wiezerek. Final 30 seconds to go. There's the clamp.
The Southside defense is just collapsing. And Mullen with another ground ball.
Yeah, no, they'll find a way to smother you, and Mullen comes out with 10 seconds to go on the DSL penalty. West lost it. It'll stay with Pequa. Should kill this penalty with 6 seconds remaining.
Massapequa needs a real possession here. I'd look for them to try to attack the short sticks or maybe a short stick setting a pick for a long pole. Try to get that switch going and get one of your bigger Dodgers an opportunity.
Joe Fazio working against Jack Lazito. About 4 minutes to play in the opening half. It's been all Southside. DSO back on the field after the penalty. Leads it back out. Gargiulo. Jack Gargiulo against Mullen. Slings it behind his back. Wiezerek took his eye off the ball. Boy, John, a lot of jostling and tough to get this possession here. And finally, Mike Roseman's able to clear it, or at least get the ball, and put Southside in a position to clear.
And Lazito with a bullet pass tipped.
And so it'll stay with Southside, 2:47 to play, opening half.
And those are the type of passes that you can sort of take at a 6-1. So, hey, let's go for one right here. Maybe we get a quick hitter.
West fakes the pass, not once but twice. Now Aiello. Near side, Lynch. It's picked up by Will Krieg. Jack Gilgan over to Owen West. Nice spin move to Petro. Jojo Sudo couldn't pick it up. Now here's West. Final 2 minutes to play. Shot deflects. Massapequa trying to get all over it, and a flag comes out. Good job by Sudo to stop transition, but a penalty upcoming, and Massapequa needs a few breaks to go their way, and that'll be the first one, a penalty coming up against the Cyclones.
They scored earlier on the man up, so let's see what they can draw up on this one.
Well, let's see what the penalty is here too,
They
John.
got a trip on the, just didn't pick up the number.
Yeah, looks to be Aiello in there, as Wiegand took a tumble. And so Aiello to sit for the next 30 seconds. Jack Arjulo to Tyler Burns. Final 90 seconds to play.
Similar play that they ran earlier when they were two men up.
Arjulo to Diesso. Haven't seen the crispest of passing yet either by Massapequa. Does that have to do with Southside's defense, or you see some mental errors out there?
No, I think Southside's defense putting the pressure on them, right? They're long, they're aggressive, they're doubling really strong. So just being to look for the cross field feed right there. Just, a lot of pressure on these guys right now.
Final 65 seconds to play, second quarter. As Aiello gets it across. Aiello, the drive through traffic, scores. Rumbling and bumbling to the net, and Mike Aiello slips it past Gennady, 7-1 Southside.
Aiello just said, I'm just going and you're not stopping me. Burns with a nice check. Aiello escapes it and just takes it to the rack. Takes on 1, 2, possibly 3 defenders here on a 4th. Seeing a lot of stick swinging. They got to take. Looks like they want to take body next time and make sure he doesn't, slide through those checks.
Mike Aiello, 35 goals on the season now. He had 4 goals against Manhasset in the victory over the Indians. And now Jack Lozito with the final 48 seconds to go, earning possession for the Cyclones and trying to swim out of it. And a timeout taken.
And Lozito's doing what we talked about early.
Yeah.
Just making plays all over the field.
Well, like we mentioned, it's been a banner year for Southside, and in the business world, these guys will eventually have to give out their resume or their CV, so to speak. But how about this? First win since 2008 over Garden City. They hadn't beaten Cold Spring Harbor since 2006 before they did it last year. Now they do it back-to-back years, and then, of course, knocking off Manhasset 7-5. These are the stories and the narratives that you remember for years to come.
And credit to this group. They've really worked hard from the early age, and they've had a great season, and they're really playing well. They're in all aspects of the game, from the goaltending to the defense, face-offs, all the way through the offense. Everyone seems to be buying in. They're playing great. There's a lot of you could tell there's a lot of camaraderie amongst the group when you see them with each other on the sidelines and celebrating, and they're all in on this together.
Yeah, and of course, this is a team that's been together since their youth, of course, playing football for the RVC Titans and Rockville Center lacrosse groups as well. And this is a team that you could sense something was special, but they've really turned it on over the last 2 years. And, last year, upset against Calhoun. Calhoun got the better of them, and this is a team that's been playing with redemption on their mind the entire season, and that's led by their head coach, Steve DiPietro, as well as Tom Martello, John DiTomaso, and Mike Bryant for Southside.
in sports, it says sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And maybe last year they were looking forward to maybe Garden City and they took their eye off the ball. But now they come back as a very heavy senior group. These guys are dialed in and they're focused.
42.6 seconds to go. And here's Mike Aiello to start it off. Aiello, like we mentioned in the open, headed to Skidmore. Southside has just outworked Massapequa in every facet of the game.
And like we touched on early in the broadcast, this is a very heavy senior group versus a group that's, still learning about themselves and trying to figure out where they are and how to get things done.
Petro. Other side, Aiello. Jojo Sudo couldn't handle it cleanly, and time expires. And that does it. 1/2 in the book. Southside leads Massapequa here at Rockville Center. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got, well, you know what? Let's take a look at this goal first before we get to our food review. But either way, Mike Aiello, he's been eaten as he finds the back of the cage. Southside with a 7-1 lead. The George Martin Group food review when we come back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Dante does it
Terrific
again!
defensive play. Dante Madaro.
By Yeso steps up and score. The jump shot for Nell.
We're in Rockville Center, and one of the staples in Rockville Center, of course, is George Martin, the original, and the George, two staples here, of course, at Southside High School. Well, welcome into the broadcast booth. He's Chris Sweeney. I'm John Perez. And Chris, George Martin is hooking us up again. Incredible spread here, and we're going to go through some appetizers, mains, and some pick-me-ups as well. I've eaten at George Martin Burger Bar a few times, as well as the George. It's the best place in Rockville Center by far.
Me and George Martin go way back, and I told you this off air beforehand. George Martin has a special place in my heart because that's where I got my job at Varsity Media. I met a young man named Jeff Turchin, asked me, said, "Hey, you want to come work for Varsity Media?" I said, absolutely. And here we are now, and we get to eat this delicious food from George Martin.
Yeah, and they're hooking us up, too. So let's start with the appetizers, and then we'll go down into the mains, and they've got their pick-me-ups as well. So what I have in my plate right here is just take a look.
Wagyu pigs in a blanket.
I got the Wagyu pigs in a blanket, right? I got rib, deviled eggs, as well as the Brussels sprouts that are crusted as well with some bacon. So we're going to start with the appetizer first, and I love a pig in a blanket. This is my definition of sophistication, and this is right away knocking it out of the park there. What appetizer do you have?
So I have the pierogies, caramelized onions on there. It looks beautiful. We have a little bit of mac and cheese with look at this beautiful chicken breast that's right here. We have sweet potatoes, and I know we're only going appetizers, but I couldn't wait. And we have the George flat iron steak. Look at this thing. Travis, get in here. I know Travis is drooling at the mouth right now. Look how great that steak looks. All right, I'm going to pull my microphone away. I don't want to pull the butler here, so let's go.
All right, so while you're chowing down on the pierogi, first bite. All right, so he gets a thumbs up. He'd give you 2 thumbs up if he had 3 arms. Now we just keep going. Kids, you got to eat your Brussels sprouts. And I know that there's a huge misnomer out there. People don't want to eat their vegetables. When they taste like this at the George, you've got to get them. And they're healthy. They're great. There you go. Get the Brussels sprouts right in there. Brussels sprouts here. Oh, yeah.
So now that I don't have a mouthful of food, the pierogies,
outstanding. The pierogi dough itself is very soft. You get a lot of flavor in there with the caramelized onions. While you were talking, I did take a bite of the mac and cheese, and awesome.
Yeah, no, so at least with the Brussels sprouts, it's bacon and blue cheese, which is great. And then the mac and cheese with chicken, baby shells, 4 cheese, Flamin' Hot Cheetos crumble. You taste the crumble in there?
Yes, I do. And it adds that little spicy note to it. It's balanced out with the the cheese in there. I get a little bit of cheddar. I get a little provolone in there. Very, very tasty. I'm a big fan of sweet potatoes, so let's go in and nosh on a little bit of sweet potato as well. And you get a little bit of maple to there, which is great, and especially that accents sweet potato so well. And now we got to go to the star of the show right here, this Wagyu, this flat iron steak, the George steak. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'll let you get in there, but the George steak, sliced prime flat iron, as well as a bistro steak as well, and let the people at home know what you're indulging in right now.
It's the flavor to it is great. It's a nice, rich cut of steak here, and then they give you some crispy onions on here too to kind of complement it as well. I always like onions with my steak. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, you got to. I skipped over the deviled egg, which I am excited for. Chili spiced eggs, guardanita pickles, as well as the aged blue cheese, and it's right in here. I know that it's a whole hodgepodge, but I'll tell you one thing. You can't go wrong in the flavors. The one thing, too, Chris, is that we've got different dishes here, but the flavors don't overarch with each other, and it's not really, getting in the way of each other.
And what you can say about this is that there's something for everybody on
Right.
either of these menus. You go to the George. You go to George Martin, the original, and there's something on there for you, your wife, your significant other, your kid, your grandma. Jeff Turchin probably loves this place too. So
The pickiest of all eaters.
But yeah, everything here is great. Maybe after this game, we'll head down there and get some more food.
Yes, no, you've got to head down to the George and George Martin, the original, as well. This weekend, celebrate Cinco de Mayo at the George, offering great food and drink special. The first special event at the George is a gin cocktail evening. It includes 2 Empress Gin cocktails, 2 small plates, and even an after-dinner drink or wine and dessert. Make your reservations for Tuesday, May 21st, and host a private party at the George. Stephanie, the general manager, will be happy to assist you in planning for the perfect event. Available Saturday, Sunday, Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 4 o'clock. And there you see, we'll leave it up there for a second. Reserve a table at 516-678-7272 or at the George, 516-208-6100. If you don't want to pick up the phone, you can head down to the GeorgeMartinGroup.com to reserve a table today.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to VarsityMediaPass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Tell you what, the George and George Martin Group, you have to come to Rockville Center and try it for yourself. It is the best. Southside's playing like the best team on Long Island right now. They lead at 7-1 over Massapequa. Alongside John Kazalakis, I'm John Perez. And John, in that first half, Southside just all flying colors so far and getting it done offensively, defensively, and even in transition.
They've been fantastic in every facet of the game. A real team effort. The defense has been smothering. The offense has been very unselfish. I think out of the 7 goals, I probably think 5 have been assisted. So they're just really doing it as a group and very well.
For Massapequa, if you're looking at the scoreboard, you're down 6 goals. But as a coach, Mike Draper, how do you inspire the troops and try and get back into this game?
You know, you got to take it one play at a time. Right? There's not a 6-point goal out there. There's not a 2-point goal. So every possession is an opportunity to do something better than maybe they didn't do in the first half. So it's tightening up the passes, maybe some shorter passes, some more picks to try to free up the guys on dodges as opposed to attacking the long poles.
And Mike Melkonian battling for the ground ball and picks it up. The 7th face-off win for Mike Melkonian. As Muscarello rifles it up the field, and it's called to Petro. Slides it over near side, and here's Mullen. Mike Aiello to Owen West. What a first half it was for Southside. Cohen Lynch and Owen West with 6 of the 7 goals. Mike Aiello made it 7-1. And now a big slash at midfield and a whistle and a flag eventually, and Ryan Wieserek knew it as he delivered a shot to Cohen Lynch. And we'll take another look right here, John.
Yeah, Wieserek makes a great hit and check on West. Oh, and he just gets him. And he knew right away, just maybe a little overzealous after the first hit. But not the start that they were looking for coming out of the half, right? Putting this offense back onto the field, man up.
Yeah, so they're just waiting for the confirmation penalty at the table. That's what they're trying to track down the official for. And so now the referee just giving the explanation again. Southside will have the man up once more as Liam Livingston started off. Wieserek, the 1-minute penalty. Up top, here's Mike Aiello. Quick shot and a goal. And a fist bump to boot. Cohen Lynch with his 4th of the day. 8-1 Cyclones.
And a nice 2-man game right there on the wing, making it very hard for the defender to cover 2 guys.
Take another look, John. Let's break it down.
So Aiello just draws him in, give it a little give and go, makes the guy slip, and Lynch just gets his hands free. Not the time and space.
Cohen Lynch with 29 goals on the season. As it's Melkonian winning the face-off against Wieserek. And here comes Southside, Mike Melkonian. Bouncing off of Wiegand. Wiegand started the game off in the face-off and now is matched up with Melkonian 1v1. And Melkonian, not the typical Fogo. He'll be in there for long spouts on offense as well.
He's definitely not afraid to stay on the field and mix it up a little bit and show his athletic talent. An unforced turnover, starting to get a little chippy down there.
Will Krieg, the junior.
This is an important clear for Massapequa, right? You're down 7 right here. It's a little hectic start to the half. Clear the ball, settle it up.
Adam LaMendola, the senior. And Diesso, the lone goal scorer for Massapequa so far today. Southside virtually throwing a shutout in the first half so far, but what they were able to do defensively, just the lone Diesso goal. Quick shot.
Oh, what a save.
Yeah, and there's Muscarella denying Diesso.
It could be tough being a goalie out there when you haven't seen a ton of shots, but that's a great save.
Well, you mentioned Muscarella, the 8 saves in the victory over Manhasset. He's got 3 so far in this one, but quite frankly, Massapequa hasn't taken any magnitude of shots.
And to my point, it's hard when you're sitting there in the goal for so long. You're not seeing a lot of fire, and you can sort of fall asleep a little bit. But he was right on that one. It was a beautiful stop and a successful clear.
DePietro swims back out, and now it's Aiello. 3 minutes gone by, third quarter. It's Cohen Lynch. It's been his day so far offensively. Lynch up top, Aiello. Now off to West. Penetrates inside. Fakes. West bounces. Rebounds. And a crease violation. Wiping a goal off the board. Brayden Gamberg. Goes to Cyclone there with Jack Lazito. And a turnover as Southside restarts it. Or check that. Massapequa's got it.
A lucky break for Massapequa there. The last thing you want to do is have another failed clear.
This is Ricky Geyer coming near side, drawing the double team. That frees it up for Jack Gargiulo. Burns. The spin shot, goal. What a finish. Tyler Burns. His 14th goal of the year. And that makes it 8-2.
And credit to Massapequa there. They played quick out of the off the sideline. They caught Southside in a little bit of a delayed sub, and were able to find an unbalanced attack and draw an attack. And great shot by Burns.
Give the assist to Burns there. Excuse me, to Gargiulo. And that makes it 8-2.
And Wieserak's been taking all the faceoffs now, it seems. He had 1-1 late in the first half.
When you know you got a face-off guy like Melkonian, how do you combat that and how do you try and get those victories? Well, Melkonian's got a nose for the net and whisked it wide, but I'll keep the question posed to you. How do you beat Michael Melkonian or a face-off guy of his caliber?
Yeah, I think they want to try to have him tie him up as opposed to try to actually win the face-off and just slow him down.
Quick shot. Well, you can't slow down Owen West. That makes it 9-2 as West with goal number 4 for number 4.
When he gets his hands free, he is a tough shooter.
We'll take another look. It's off the quick restart. Doesn't look like Massapequa was ready to go.
Off the quick restart. You can't leave a shooter like that by himself. And Wieserak's in a tough spot right there, right? Because he's taking the draw, and then he's got to try to get back down low to cover West. So you're sort of caught between two spots.
Melkonian again winning the faceoff and dropping it back to Muscarella. West gets across. And now it's Colin Lynch.
One thing I watched from the Southside group is they're always moving. Right now they're settling up a little bit, getting everybody to touch. But once this offense gets in motion, everybody is moving.
Lynch to West. It's been their day so far. 8 goals between the two. West, good fake. Can't finish. Gennady skirts it away and gobbles it up. Long pass ahead. There's that.
Big ground ball by Burns.
Yeah.
Now they got a fast break here.
Here come the Chiefs. Shot denied. Muscarella with the point-blank save as he robbed Mike Wieglin blind. Lynch. Pseudo overshoots his target. What a fantastic save on the other end by Mike Muscarella.
Excellent. And great play on both sides of the ball, right? These guys are they're flying up and down the field trying to make plays. Both goalies making 2 stops.
We'll take a quick look again. He's just a brick wall between the pipes.
He is, and he is excellent low. And that's where they keep testing him, and they're coming up a little bit short there.
Southside thought that there was an offside.
And they are.
And so the turnover again.
And these are the mental mistakes that you can't have right now, down 9-2 and with a young group. And this is, oh, what a save.
Liam Livingston knocked aside by Gennady. And keeps it 9-2 with 6.5 to play in the third. Colin Lynch up top to DePietro. And now Aiello. The drive, rifles inside, Gennady denies. Lamondola across midfield. Good clear by Adam Lamondola.
And he draws a flag as well.
2-for-1 opportunity for Massapequa. Long pole shot wide to the left and penalty upcoming. That was Ryan Wieserek trying to find the back of the cage. There's a 1-minute slash on south side.
I believe it was on DiPietro.
Yeah, so DiPietro comes off. And there he is. Jack Gargiulo up top. Wieserek couldn't handle it cleanly, and Will O'Toole picks up a loose change. O'Toole's been an integral part to this defense this year. Didn't get a lot of playing time last year, only 3 ground balls, and starting the clear attempt for Southside, a whistle.
Failure to advance.
Dyer. Seconds to go in the DiPietro penalty. 5 minutes of the third quarter. Shot, scoops over the net. As that was Gargiulo once more. Rocco Spolina to restart, 5 seconds to go in the penalty. And then another whistle. Anything you saw there, John?
I didn't see what they had. He's going to the table now to discuss.
Maybe they just started the clock too early.
Maybe.
And so that's what it is. It's a time issue. They're going to put some time back on the penalty. They put 4:54 back on.
It looks like they're going to keep the man-up penalty on the field.
And the clock never restarted. Now it does as the ball comes all the way through. And either way, it was all for naught. We're back at even strength. And 4:47 to play in the third. Southside, like we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, had never won 13 games in the regular season, and they're a quarter and a half away from doing so, or a quarter and a quarter away from doing so. And just a dominating effort against Massapequa. In front, over the net. Mike Aiello on the quick hitter.
They've been virtually flawless today, right, in every aspect.
Liam Livingston. Off to Cohen Lynch, and now it's Mike Aiello. Fed up top. Petro, good move, shot, wide to the right. So tough to keep in front. And Petro just moves so well with the ball.
He has got a great change of direction.
Colin Lynch over to Cole DePietro. West, smothered, goes down, flag is out. Well, we saw a lot of contact in there, and penalty is going to go against Wiegand. Looks like we got a cross check here.
Appears to be.
And just another penalty against Massapequa as we take another look and watch number 23 for Massapequa.
It's a great job jumping off the pick and just whacking away on him. But I love how the pick was set, and instead of letting his man get picked off, he jumped on top of the pick to create the double team, which started off well until towards the end.
Lynch to drop in front, bouncing shot, skips over the crossbar. As that was Sean Glenn in front of the cage, the senior. There's a long pole, Justin Farrell. Farrell, one of the few sophomores that they called up last year from Massapequa, and high lacrosse IQ, very composed, and getting some action in the third quarter. Lynch. Off to Glenn. Livingston. West, quick shot. And wide to the right. Not sure if Giannotti got a piece of it. But West is just coming out firing.
When you're shooting like he does, it's hard not to.
We'll see what the score is at the end of this quarter, but I'd have to imagine as Lynch again. Number 5 for Cullen Lynch as he lasers it past Mike Giannotti. 10-2 Southside at home.
Outside goal by number 17, Cohen Lynch. Assisted by number 4, Orlin.
And they just overload aside and play a little two-man game, being man up. West does a great job with the pump fake just to give him an extra little half a second to get his hands free, or for Cullen to get his hands free and shoot.
Not a bad day at the office and a good way to start your weekend. Colin Lynch, leading the way with 5 goals. What I was going to say earlier was we don't know how much more time DePietro's going to give the starters. Maybe he dips into his bench, start the fourth quarter with an 8-goal lead over Massapequa.
Yeah, those are important minutes for some of these other guys that have put the effort and the time in practice since the beginning of March to get their minutes and get their opportunity to show their skill set.
Gets across, and Lynch swimming back. Final 2 minutes to play, third quarter. Rusty Francisco. Off to Leo Livingston. DeFrancisco gets double team. Ball squirts out. Final 100 seconds to play in the third. Southside's outscored Massapequa 3-1 in this third quarter. Least amount of goals that Southside has given up in a game this year was 4, and they did that twice against Garden City and Cary.
Their defense has been suffocating today. Nothing easy for Massapequa.
And now final minute, DeFrancisco. DeFrancisco off the fake. 1v1 with Wiegand. West. West with 30 seconds. Trying the long pole up top by Ello. Aiello charges, and Gennady gobbles it up and whisks it down the field. Thrown into the end zone over everyone, and a turnover.
Plenty of time there. I don't know if that's the clear that you're looking for.
Tried to hit the sophomore, Braden Tucker, in stride and just overshot him. Final 8 seconds to play in the third. DePietro, wide. 3.7 seconds left. Aiello over everyone, and that does it. 3 quarters in the books. Southside with a 10-2 lead. Mike Muscarella has been fantastic in net so far for Southside. Hasn't had a lot of shots go his way, but when he has, he's denied them. And once again, closing the door, and an emphatic Southside victory lead as they try and pick up the victory. Going to the fourth on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Welcome you back to Southside High School. It's a 10-2 lead for the home team, and Mike Aiello showing off the speed in the third quarter. It's time for our Speed Island Speedy Play of the Game, brought to you by Speed Island. Improve your speed today with Onyx Salva and the gang in Garden City. And let's take another look, and speed is the name of the game, and Mike Aiello has so as he goes a flight and gets a tough goal here, John.
Mike just takes this play over and just says, I'm going to go to the goal, and you're not stopping me. A tough, hard-nosed play.
Book a session today on SpeedIslandNY.com. Quick shot and a goal. That was pretty speedy. Rocco Spolina finds the back of the net, and that makes it 10-3. Spolina with his 16th goal of the year, and couldn't have drawn up a better start to the fourth, John.
Yeah, and Massapequa finally gets out in transition. Cardullo draws the man. He finds Burns, and Burns unselfishly drops down to Rocco, and Rocco has time, room, and finds a short side corner. Great job by Massapequa. These kids are, they're having a tough night, but they're not quitting, and they're showing their grit.
Mike Melkonian picked up a penalty, so now it's a 1-minute penalty. Back at the scorer's table, so a new face-off man for Southside, as that's going to be Sean Glynn, the senior.
Sean's about 60% on the year.
Well, for Southside, you've got two good options, as Glynn handles it flawlessly and gets it back to Muscarella.
They might have a pretty good guy to go against at practice every single day, so.
And you hear iron sharpening iron. Mike Grossman. And now Aiello. This game's getting pretty chippy here, as Aiello taking a couple of shots and a whistle is out. And a timeout taken by Southside on the other side. And let's take another look, John. What do you see here?
Aiello just a tough clear, trying to get into the box. Massapequa was swarming him. We've got 4 guys surrounding him. He's got to get that. He's got the ball in the box, and Coach wisely called the timeout to protect his guy there.
So Southside taking the timeout. Well, we mentioned how good the senior class is, but going to the next level too. For Southside, take a look at all the talent that's going to the next level, and I'm not going to ask you to pick one person, but there's a lot of great gems going out to the next level here.
This is a very impressive group, from a B school and the public school. These guys have, they're showing the fruits of their labor and what they've done and what they're able to do and getting recruited to play at the next level at some fantastic schools. So these guys have bright futures ahead of them. They're doing great things here.
And of course, they're joining a long list of players that are also up at the next level as well. Tommy Gentile, who was a fantastic goalie last year at BU. A lot of New England connections we're seeing as well here. Of course, TJ McNicholas at UAlbany, Andrew Mendel at Skidmore, Sheehan also at UAlbany, TJ Sheehan, and Brady West, Owen's older brother, playing at Loyola. So you see the Massapequa side of things, and they've got some college commits as well. Nick Hink, who we mentioned in the open, going to Nazareth. Nick Margiotta as well, and there's the rest of the list. Very good program, Maritime, as well, in the Skyline Conference, and Matt Pettis, of course, UAlbany. Good talent on that side as well.
Yeah, these kids are, they've done the work, they've practiced, they've put all the extra effort in, and Long Island Lacrosse is definitely not short on talent. So these kids have, they're showing what they can do.
Nazareth commit, drops it off, starting offense. Gargiulo shot, and it was deflected by Will O'Toole.
Oh, great play on the end line.
And now Lazito gets tripped up, a flag is down. As Lazito took a shot from Gargiulo. We'll see if he's the one that, in fact, gets the penalty. Well, while we wait for the penalty, of course, we want to thank our sponsor, Center Station, for lifelong employees, Southside alums, Griffin Condon, along with Dan Maynard, Tanner Robinson, and Mike O'Brien are taking over RJ Daniels and rebranding it. And coming soon, Center Station Bar and Grill. Be sure to check out updates online and book your reservation today. It's going to be the hottest reservation in town.
We'll be 5-on-5 here for about 9 seconds.
And that first penalty on Melkonian, and Gargiulo picking up the 32nd penalty now, so you're right. And then Southside will go to the man advantage. Penalties off. Here come the Cyclones, and they get ready for the final 15 seconds of the penalty. Towards the middle, Sean Glynn couldn't handle it cleanly. And Southside comes out of the fray to Petro. Lynch, low to low, Gennady, with a strong base, getting the save.
Massapequa's got a transition here if they can connect. And Mullen.
They cannot, too easy for Mullen. Here's Liam Livingston, the drop off, West, high to the left. After today, Massapequa takes on Manhasset. So Manhasset, of course, one of the top teams in the Power Conference as well, and coming off the loss to Southside, and as they try and regroup for the playoffs. The Indians, of course, one of the top teams in most rankings and publications across Long Island and nationwide. Cohen Lynch up top, West jump shot, skips over the crossbar.
That's a great ball movement right there. One guy draws a double team, throws it back pass. Another guy cuts backside, and they've got these guys moving around really well.
To Petro. Here's West. Southside with time on their side. They're not afraid to employ the four corners, no matter how much time is left in the fourth quarter. Quick shot, Lynch. And there's Gennady again. Cohen Lynch leading the way with 5 goals for Southside, itching for that 6th, but Gennady is not this time.
He stood tall all game. You know, he's seen a lot of shots today, and he's answered the bell many times.
Massapequa had the numbers. Nolan Wieserek. Top to Tyler Burns. Braden Gamberg with a whack in there. Shot in front, 1v1 goal. Ryan Wieserek beating Mike Muscarella, who wasn't picked up in front, and that makes it 10-4.
Massapequa did a great job of causing a little havoc right there. Ball was moving around. Rockspleen got his head up. Wieserek by himself naked on top of in front of the net. Great job.
Ryan Wieserek, that's his 10th goal of the year. He had an assist against Cold Spring Harbor. One who's labeled as just a disruptor.
You can see the athletic ability, right? He's an all Long Island linebacker, leader on the football team, and out here on the lacrosse field. Just a great athlete.
Will O'Toole for Jack Lazito. And now here's Cole DePietro. He's got sandwiched and has to pull it back out. In front, and Gennady on Cohen Lynch, who could have had 8 goals in this game. Back the other way, shot goes wide to the left, Jack Gargiulo. Well, how about the job that Southside has done on Gargiulo? We mentioned that he's one of the marked men coming into this game, of course, one of the impact players. And
they've done a great job on him, and you know, they've taken away a lot of opportunities, and they've pressed out on him pretty hard. And anytime he gets any angle to attack the cage, there is a quick double in his face.
Gargiulo tried the BTP, but went WIDE, and now Southside on the counter. Owen West comes across.
Some 2 big boys going at it right there.
Yeah. West, the drive, off the bar. As Aiello tries to pick it up, a whistle. And it'll stay with Southside.
Yeah, so a loose ball push there.
Cole DePietro. There's DePietro 1v1. The goal and assist against Manhasset as Gennady there once more. Into the hands of Joe Fazio. Drops it off to Burns. Under 6 minutes to play in regulation. Draper, of course, throwing a lot of.
They're pressing out all over. They are taking, you know, they're challenging the Massapequa guys to win a one-on-one matchup, and they've done a great job all night.
Well, here's Fazio, the senior, and you know that's something that, in theory, is easy to execute against, but harder to win 1v1 against Southside as DePietro steps into one and rings it wide to the left. Liam Livingston. And now off to Owen West. What a good start it was for Owen West. He had a hat trick in the first quarter, scoring 3 of the first 4 goals, and currently now with 5 points on the game. 4 and 1.
When you have a shooter as talented as Owen West, when he gets his hands free, it's really difficult to be a goalie, especially an unchallenged shot. He's too big and powerful, great technique.
Ball comes loose, flag is out, as Aiello takes the fall. And Massapequa with another penalty. And this looks to be against Fazio. We'll take another look, John.
And gets him with the trip.
And check that, not Fazio, but Justin Farrell. Good to see DePietro get off under his own power. He'll go off. And so the minute penalty against Farrell and Jojo Sudo off to the bench.
Looks to be a timeout on the field.
Yeah, so we'll get a timeout taken by, I believe it's Massapequa. We'll take a timeout with them as well. 4.5 to play in the fourth quarter on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsity media. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Colin Lynch is today's Hungry Man of the Game, brought to you by George Martin the Original. George Martin the Original serving lunch Tuesday through Friday, open 7 nights a week, private party rooms available. And the George, the newest member of the George Martin Group family. The George is an American tavern serving dinner 7 nights a week. Inquire about a private party, and it's his world tonight. And Colin Lynch has been on fire and hungry tonight, John.
He has been absolutely shooting the ball lights out all game. And, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And, you shoot to get hot and you shoot to stay hot, and he certainly has tonight.
5 goals for Colin Lynch, who is going to have to get a post-game meal over at George Martin. They'll take care of him. Southside's been taking care of Massapequa, a 10-4 lead with just over 4:20 to play in regulation. Shot goes over the crossbar. It was Owen West. We mentioned for Southside, this would be the most wins in the regular season in recent history with 13. And their best start in program history. And there is Mr. DePietro. Cole DePietro finds the back of the cage, his 20th goal of the year. And that makes it 11-4 Cyclones.
And just a great fundamental shot right there. Straight overhand, high heat, time and room.
And starts from X, and Southside very good starting from behind the cage. Mike Melkonian, first face-off since the penalty, brings it wide to the left. Livingston. Well, John, you said earlier sometimes you win games, other times you learn. If you're Massapequa, what did you learn about yourself in this game?
I think from Massapequa's standpoint, they got to tighten up the little things. You know, some of these passes were, 16, 17-yard passes as opposed to maybe a 5 to 10-yard pass, and the unforced turnovers are critical, right? Especially when you're going against a veteran team like this that capitalizes on mistakes. So it's to tighten up the little things, tighten up the clearing game, and they have the talent. There's plenty of great players out here, and they are learning.
Yeah, Massapequa 8-6 coming into today, and one more regular season matchup against Manhasset. Ryan Wiezerek drops it off, but that's a little too far out of the reach of Michael Wiegand. And a flag down on the opposite side.
I think they got Lozito with a little bit of a late check high.
So it looks like Lozito's walking off. And unsportsmanlike.
This would be full-time service, I would assume.
Well, that's one of the things, too. When you're up 7, 3 minutes to go, you want to just keep your composure as well.
Oh, it's on Massapequa. I guess it was maybe it was a retaliation penalty.
Good call, yeah. So Wiezerek is there.
Yeah.
Lozito was coming off.
Yeah, Lozito gave him a little shot at it, and I think maybe Wiezerek didn't really like it.
Off the restart, final 3 minutes to play. And now Owen West. Off to Cullen Lynch.
Southside just going to try. Looks like they're just going to run out the penalty here.
What a season it's been for Southside. They came out of the gate, guns blazing, knocking off Harborfield, Syosset, Cold Spring Harbor, and Port Washington. And their first big test was against Garden City, and they quite frankly dominated the Trojans over at Darcy Field. That game originally was supposed to be at Garden City, but due to the rain and rescheduling, that game played in Rockville Center, so a little bit more friendly confines for Southside. They get the 7-4 victory. They get humbled against Wantagh, but since then have been clicking on all cylinders. Wins over New Hyde Park, Farmingdale, Somers, Cary, and a timeout taken. We'll take it with them as well. Final 2 minutes to play in the fourth on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Sun starting to set here on this contest in Rockville Center as Southside with an 11-4 victory in sight. Southside leads it late in this contest, and here's what we have coming up for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., Hauppauge and Shoreham-Wading River. New Hyde Park in Long Beach, that's senior day for Long Beach, and then Chaminade St. Anthony's, 5 o'clock on Tuesday. And, of course, got some girl lacrosse matchup in there as well. It should be a lot of fun. Go to youtube.com/Varsity Media. I don't want to miss all the action there. Sean Quirk comes out as Steve DiPietro empties his bench. Jojo Sudo push from behind. And on the loose ball push, he'll stay with Southside. Sudo, the senior lefty. 4 points on the season. Now just trying to swim out of it.
Yeah, Southside just trying to run out the clock. You want to avoid any unfortunate incidents. I don't want anybody getting hurt. And, the game's well endowed.
Well, Southside came out firing. They scored 7 of the first 8 goals. And now just trying to button it up. Southside, with the final 45 seconds to go, is going to pick up their 13th win of the season, their most in the regular season. In program history, of course, the program record is 16, at least in recent history, as they're setting their sights on their first county title and Long Island championship since 2004. Southside has just dominated today, and I'll just dot the T's, cross the I's, and watch the sand waste away at this final 15 seconds here.
And it's a big win for them to get that big number, and also to lock up the 1 seed in the Bees for the playoffs. As you mentioned many times, that they've had trouble getting past the Manhassas and Garden Cities of the world. So maybe kicking that can down the road and getting them in the county championship potentially, as opposed to maybe a semifinal game, is a huge opportunity for them.
A clinical and precisional victory for Southside, as they were led by Cohen Lynch in his 5 goals, Owen West with 4 goals and an assist. As Southside wins it 11-4 at home to go 13-1 on the season before they get ready for their regular season finale against Long Beach coming up next Wednesday. Right here at home, Massapequa falling to 8-7. And scoring just 4 goals for the second straight game. So that'll do it for our entire crew, led by our executive producer, Ben Turchin. Chris Sweeney's our technical director, Travis DeLuise and Rob Bianco giving you the moving images. For my partner, John Casalakis, this is John Perez saying so long from Southside High School. It's been a presentation of Nassau County Power Conference Lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network.